ceasing. We need to see a cease. We need to see a humanitarian pause so we can flow. We need to see ceasing of the levels of violence that we're seeing.
What is so hard about saying that we need to see a ceasefire right now? He almost said ceasefire. He wanted to say ceasefire. We almost saw the third Freudian slip. What is it that has these leaders so scared of saying that they want a ceasefire? What is it that is holding them back from saying ceasefire?
Senator, the majority of your constituents support a ceasefire in Gaza to stop the killing. Will you? Thousands of children are being killed every day.
Will you call for an end to the killing of civilians in Gaza?
You demand a ceasefire in Gaza.
I've already demanded a temporary cessation.
Senator, a pause is not enough. Senator,
do not obstruct the senator from entering the committee. Thank you.
The majority of Alliance are calling for a ceasefire. Are you going to stand with your constituents? Are you going to stand with what your constituents are asking for, a ceasefire right now?
Senator Baldwin, will you support a ceasefire? Senator Baldwin, will you end the genocide? Senator Reid, people came to your office and protested. People have marched on the streets. Thousands have called. Do you have anything to say to them about supporting a ceasefire? Senator Reid, will you ignore us like you ignored them?
Failure rate. You need to call for a ceasefire now.
Hamas went into a country and brutally murdered people,
Israel
cut their
is
throats.
carpet bombing.
You want to talk or am I going to talk?
I'm going to talk.
Okay, well, I'm not going to listen.
Senator, you are in the committee, and you have the power to demand a ceasefire. Senator, 10,000 civilians have died already. It is not comparable. It is no longer comparable. These are war crimes, and you have the power to end it.
We have a question. We are Jews in Fires District. I'm Rose. This is Elaine. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos, everybody. And Speaker Emerita, we want to know, will you support a ceasefire in Gaza? Yes or no?
Let me interrupt you for a second. This is not a town hall meeting.
Yes or no?
There's a genocide happening in Palestine. Children are dying. We should care. It goes against the status quo, but right now there's an urgent humanitarian crisis. We need our politicians to care. Our tax dollars are funding genocide. $106 million of
your disrespect for the other people in the program that is here. This is a very important question, and I hear it morning, noon, and night outside my home. We certainly are concerned about the life of every person, whether they're in Gaza or whether they're in Israel. They're calling for a ceasefire. A ceasefire is a gift to Hamas.
Thank you. I bring you some water to get started. Of course, we have tap water. We also have bottled water.
I have 60 members of my family killed over the last 3 weeks. I just don't know how many more have to die before you're going to call for a ceasefire. I don't know. Like, what do you want me to do? Wait, I mean, what do I have to do? How many more of my family have to die for you to call for a ceasefire? I don't know. Like, how much more do I have to say for you to call for a ceasefire? People are in your office every day asking you to call for a ceasefire.
Here we go. Look what happens. The police shows up, their own media. We're calling for a ceasefire. Police show up. Look at this.
We just feel that we're not going to leave here of our own accord unless Senator Kelly commits to call for a ceasefire, because people are being killed every day. Children are being killed right now in Gaza, and we're not okay with that. Okay, we're here peacefully.
Your reason is your reason. I'm concerned with the trespassing.
We understand.
Okay.
What do we want?
Ceasefire! No!
Ceasefire!
Now!
This is the last warning, folks. Yes. Okay.
We're going to go out and then warn everybody in the lobby.
Last warning.
And then, yes, then everybody here will be arrested.
Okay, we understand. We're staying here peacefully, not asking for a ceasefire.
You speak for you.
Awesome.
What about everybody else?
This is for a good cause.
Free study.
For Palestine! Excellent. Free Palestine! Hey, finally the Americans standing up for something.
Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Remember, courage is in. You're gonna find the courage in there.
If you're not risking arrest!
Vacate the premises as you're all trespassing as of right now! Let's go.
Ceasefire now!
Let her out. What's your issue? If she wants to leave, you're not gonna let her out? You don't want to let her out?
She was behind you. She was going to get out right now. I need you to vacate the premises as you're all trespassing.
Finally.
God, they will
Over and
arrest
over.
you very quickly.
They're holding the door so nobody.
Amazing. Be proud of yourselves. We are proud of you. Be proud. Excellent. You actually stand for something. You should be proud.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Palestine! For all Muslims!
Don't go this way.
Don't touch me.
Don't go this way.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now!
I want to be very clear about something right now. All of us being arrested out front of Senator Bernie Sanders' office are former staff, delegates, and volunteers from his campaign and his Senate office. We were here today to talk to the senator. He refused to speak with us. Instead, he continues his complicity in the genocide of our loved ones in Palestine. Bernie has blood on his hands. He is a coward. We are ashamed, and there will be no more support.
Bernie, you can't hide.
Bernie, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
We charge you with genocide.
Senator Sanders, we have a list here of the 7,000 martyrs of the Israeli genocide in Gaza. It's actually too large to unfurl in your office, and it doesn't even include the 2,000 that have been murdered by Israeli strikes and shelling and starvation policies in the last several days. Khalid Muhammad Jamil Za'anin, 8 years old. Zaina Hussam Jamil Za'anin, 7 years old. Mais Hussam Jamil Za'anin, 5 years old. Salma Omar Jamil Za'anin, 5 years old. Amar Muhammad Jamil Za'anin, 4 years old. Balsam Omar Jamil Za'anin, 3 years old. Hala Hussam Jamil Za'anin, 1 year old.
Rafat Mahmoud Rabi' al-Mizan, 53. Iman Salama Hussein Abu Marahil, 53. Sousan Khabar, 53. Tahrir Jum'ah Mustafa Sahar, 53.
Bernie Sanders, where you at? 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 Bernie Sanders, where you at?
Wait a minute. Did you guys know that Lloyd Austin, who is the current U.S. Secretary of Defense, which means he is second in command of the U.S. military only after the president, sits on the board of and has investments in a company called Raytheon, which is one of the world's largest weapon makers, right? The guy making decisions about war is actually profiting off of war. And according to a report from Insider on their public earnings call last week, Raytheon's CEO said they stood to benefit from an increase in budget due to the war in Israel. Just a few quick details. President Biden has asked for an additional $106 billion to the DoD budget, citing the Israel-Hamas war. And Raytheon has been supplying Israel's Iron Dome since 2014. The people telling us we need to be bombing Gaza, a place UNICEF has now described as a graveyard for thousands of children, are actually profiting off of the bombing of innocent civilians. At this point, I'm at a loss.
Senator, I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but when I call for a ceasefire in Gaza, I'm a journalist, my name's Aaron Mate. When I call for a ceasefire in Gaza, you have 4,600 children killed. 46. I know it's a quiet card. I apologize for abuse, but I understand. But children are dying. Children are dying, sir. More than 40. When I call for a ceasefire, they're being killed with our weapons. U.S. weapons are killing kids in Gaza.
Who are you?
My name is Aaron Mate. I'm a journalist.
Nice to meet you, Aaron.
Likewise.
Please stop talking to me.
I'm sorry, sir. It's of dire importance. More than 11,000 civilians, as we're talking, being killed. I'm a journalist for the Gray Zone.
What's the Gray Zone?
It's a U.S.-based news website.
Good for you.
Thank you. And right now, with our support, kids are being killed. I'm sorry. With our weapons, I'm asking you to explain why not call for a ceasefire.
You're bothering me and everyone else around us.
Kids in Gaza are being massacred. I'm asking you to please explain why not call for a ceasefire.
Stop. Sir, could I please have some help here?
Kids are being killed with our weapons.
I'm asking you to stop.
Why not stop?
This is
why not call for
stopping
the
for you to interview me. You're bothering everybody else around us.
It's a crisis
How
right now.
did you get this seat?
I bought the seat.
No. He's bothering me while I'm trying to do work.
And our government is paying for weapons that are murdering children in Gaza. I'm asking him why not call for a ceasefire.
Aaron.
Can you explain that?
Please stop.
Can I ask you to explain why I call for a ceasefire?
You've already asked me 5 times. I'm not going to call for a ceasefire. I strongly support humanitarian causes. I've urged the Israeli government to target their campaign against Hamas. But you need
Do you think
to
the campaign is targeting against Hamas when civilians are being massacred, when babies in incubators are dying because the fuel is being cut off?
I'm going to have you thrown off this train. Please stop doing this.
I have to ask these questions.
You've asked me 10 times.
I know, and I will
You're
keep...
getting as professional, measured, and appropriate an answer out of me as you can. This is not professional journalism. Please get up and leave now.
I don't think it's humane to be massacring kids. That's the problem here.
That's
I realize I'm not being professional.
I don't think it's humane to be massacring kids either.
Okay, then why are we supporting
when Hamas massacred 1,400 Israeli civilians, the whole world should unite in opposition to terrorism.
First of all, the number is 1,200. It wasn't entirely civilians.
Are we going to quibble over how many civilians were massacred by Hamas?
It's important to be precise.
It is important to be precise.
But yes, civilians were massacred.
I'm a senator.
Does that give us the right to
This is a quiet car. You're breaking the basic rules of how we operate on Amtrak.
Okay, and the question
Please
is...
stop.
And I believe we're breaking international law by supporting
Thanks for
massacres
your
of civilians. Yes.
You've had a lot of my time. Please move on.
Why not at least call for a ceasefire?
Do a pause. If you do a ceasefire, people die.
Are these children not people to you? This is Kareem. He was literally counting down the days until his birthday and he couldn't make it. I don't understand how you can say something so evil.
They're going to have to go through schools and hospitals to get to those tunnels. That's the terrible part about this. We need to pray for our brothers and sisters in Israel because this is going to be tough.
All right, there was a lot of problematic stuff to unpack there, but let's just solve this Hamas uses human shield thing and the hypocrisy of it once and for all with a simple exercise. So we're going to go into Google Maps, type in military base, because Hamas puts military targets in civilian locations like residential neighborhoods and stuff. Oh, we've got Southern Command. This is a command and control center. And yep. And what's across the street? Oh, is it a science park? Okay. This seems like a great place to have a field trip. Okay, we got dinosaur bones. Fun. Let's look at the reviews. An incredible science museum for all ages. Okay. Yeah, activities for both kids and adults. We really recommend this place for the entire family. So if Hamas hypothetically had a command and control center inside that science park in Israel proper, and people were sheltering in it as wartime refugees, would you drop a 2,000-pound JDAM on it? No, Israel wouldn't accept that. Europe wouldn't accept that. The United States wouldn't accept that. So if you just don't care about Palestinian lives, just be racist. Okay? You can just be racist, but you don't also have to be a hypocrite and a dumbass.